Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the G-Town podcast. My name is Brendan Borillo. I'm the main host of the podcast. And as usual, we got the cast and crew here today. We got Ceston on production, Mr. Prada Man, of course. We got Rich Finesse here, Joan joining us again. We have a special guest joining us today. Very special guest. My cousin, Casandra Parto. Hey, what's up? Hey. Of course, we got Mr. Nguyen, Aaron, Finesse Kid, what's good? And oh my god, look who's here today. We got Eric. Hey! This is the guy who does our visuals for everything on the podcast. You check out the Instagram, you check out our loading screen. Ceston, go back to our loading screen, man. I want to see that. Let's go.
He's like, alright.
Mine's gonna get cut though.
Oh, yeah? Okay, mine's gonna get cut. Oh,
no, it didn't. I thought it would get cut. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Old G-Town, the best G-Town, bro.
Alright, well, welcome back, everybody. Very exciting episode today. It feels really, really good to be back. But before we start, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are close to 100, guys, so please help us out. We're almost there, about like 20 guys, 20 people away, pretty much. We're about to get there. And we also are on Spotify too. We are streaming, so listen to us when you're at work, when you're doing like a workout or something, driving to work or anything like that. We appreciate every eye and ear on the podcast, guys. All right, so let's get right into it. How's everyone's day going so far, though? What's up? How's everyone doing?
It's pretty good.
Good, man.
Doing
Good.
Long day.
Nice. Ate, what's up? How was the day? Busy?
Busy, yeah. We had a long shoot day today. Started at 8 a.m. and then finished at around like 6 or just after 6. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so it was good.
Wait, where's work located?
So my company, Very Polite Agency, is actually located downtown in Vancouver.
Okay.
But today we were shooting at a studio called Stage 6.
Stage
also
6.
in Vancouver, but kind of by Main Street and like 7th.
Oh, Main.
Science World area.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Such a rough morning for me this morning, though. I didn't have work today this morning, but like I woke up like very groggy and very sick. If you guys notice in my voice, this is because my brother, who actually just my baby brother, who came back from the Philippines as recent, he got sick coming back. So I guess he got cold on the plane. He got a cold. Yeah. And then like he's coughing everywhere in my room and all that stuff.
You caught it?
And I caught it, yeah.
Damn.
And I just woke up. I
got the Philippine cold, man.
There it is. Yeah, but it's so rough, and I hate being sick. I just got over like being sick for a very long time, for like literally almost like a month and a week. So.
Oh my god, that's so long.
It is very long, right? Like, I never let my body heal. I never rest. I always like want to do something.
Yeah.
Like even at work,
just
I can't.
Take more vitamins. You need
Yeah, take vitamins,
daily.
bro.
Honestly, I like take like adult gummies, and I like don't really get sick often.
Yeah.
Honestly, if your body like has enough vitamins and like you're sleeping enough, like you should be okay.
Vitamin C, bro.
Vitamin C.
Yeah, immune booster. That's what you need.
To all the viewers out there, you know that's what you need.
Yeah, vitamin C.
Take your vitamins. Clearly, I don't. So, we're gonna start with our first segment. I'm breaking ice with my wrist. Lack for a better name, but I fuck with that. So, usually how we do this is a bunch of icebreaker questions, guys. We go around the table and see everyone's quick little answer. So the first one that we got is, what is the scariest thing you've ever done for fun, though?
No.
Starting with Casandra. Let's go.
Okay, so the scariest thing I've ever done for fun is the same example you gave me.
Okay.
Which was skydiving. So I went skydiving, and it was so funny because they GoPro you. If you want to pay for that extra GoPro experience, you can do it. So instead of a full video footage, I did photos. but the photos, they take it like every 3 or 4 seconds or something, and you're strapped onto a professional skydiver, and the guy has the GoPro on his wrist. So the whole time you're like, he's holding it in front of you, and he tells you what to do and what's going on and stuff. But it's so funny because you don't really know what to expect until it happens. So we're all the way at the top, and we jump out, just probably like the most scariest thing, but it was terrifying not being able to breathe. So there's like so much air going up your nostrils, you're just like, what the heck's happening? My eyes were closed and I like couldn't breathe. So he's taking these photos and I'm like trying to smile, but it was like the worst. It's just like the worst image ever, but I'll show you anyways because it's kind of funny.
Oh my lord.
I can't do this right now.
He mastered that smile though.
So I can't.
Hey!
But it's cool.
This guy's like smiling. He's
He's like taking
cheesing.
it all easy. I'm just like, I can't breathe.
This is
He knows his angles, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's his day-to-day shit.
Yeah,
you know?
actually.
Oh my god, this is like totally like I work at a hotel and I meet like all these guests all the time. There's this guy, very very amazing guy. He's so nice. Like he's in a wheelchair. I asked him because over the time working there, he stayed there for like a month or so. So like every time you walk in the lobby, I always like talk with him, chat with him for a bit because I'm just bored at work. I just want to talk to this guy. He's a nice guy. Don't want to reveal his name, but he came from a skydiving company. The reason why he's in the wheelchair. The reason why he's in the wheelchair.
No way.
The parachute.
Yeah.
It didn't come out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but he still like deployed it, but it came
I'm
too
not
late.
sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I
Because
think
I'm sure he just splat, bro.
like malfunction.
It's true though.
It's
Hunt it.
terrifying.
He survived though.
Yeah.
Well,
Clearly.
yeah. Clearly, yeah. And
Just
like
make your body a parachute, bro.
it's so
Was he just paralyzed after, or like was his fall recent where he had to end up in a wheelchair?
May have been paralyzed.
It's
bro.
waist down,
paralyzed.
I think so.
Yeah, waist down.
Waist down?
Yeah.
And yeah, and he just he loved his job. That's the thing, and like he's so humble, he's so nice, and like it's just so ironic because like it's like WorkSafe BC, like that's why he's there, right? WorkSafe BC is paying for this whole thing, but how the heck are you supposed to get classes from WorkSafe BC about parachute, like skydiving though?
Yeah.
Like you can't.
They're like,
Yeah,
they're like,
it's
we gotta
a
make one now, bro. It's like, oh shoot.
But next person, Aaron. Scariest thing you've done for fun?
Probably just like riding a scary roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
nothing like skydiving like that.
Yeah.
Do you know which is the scariest roller coaster you've been
At
on?
the time, probably like the elevator.
Wooden or
I
what?
think the elevator.
Elevator.
Like that's like pansy shit, but like, like yeah, the elevator was pretty scary at the time.
Yeah.
No, I haven't really done anything like scary for fun. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Just like the elevator.
Elevator is scary, man.
No, but like after you do it, it's so short. It's so fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you go up like
That's-
once
yeah.
really fast, and
Yeah.
then it's like it's done. It's like they bring you down.
The anticipation makes it so much worse though.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Because like
That's part of the ride.
when you're
Yeah, exactly.
when you're watching it, right? You just like everyone's like buckled up.
Yeah.
And then like they shoot you up, and all you hear is screams like ah.
Oh yeah.
It just fades out.
Yeah, shade.
So I was like, oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
So
Like,
yeah. That's it. How about you, man?
Honestly, I have a really uneventful life, so I never really came across as scary. Like if you're talking about Playland or P&D, probably like the wooden roller coaster was like my scariest moment in my life because that was like this happened like 3 years ago too, and that was actually my first time going on a roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah,
The wooden one?
the wooden one.
Oh,
I'm
I was
serious.
there.
You were there, and then yeah, as soon as I got to the highest point of the roller coaster, as soon as I came down, you know how the wooden roller coaster is just like you just hold on to something.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
Yeah.
like
doesn't
other
make you,
things
it doesn't
where
make
it's
you
strapped
feel
up.
safe.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
You just stand up.
And it's wooden, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
and you gotta hold on to bars. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into, so I just said fuck it. So I just held on to it at that point. I went down. It was a crazy.
Bro, that ride ain't even safe, bro.
It's not.
And they
It's
like
not.
add the extra clicks in there, so it sounds like it's
Yeah.
broken or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
I don't think they added it. I think it's actually broken, dude.
Yo, I heard they're closing Corkscrew.
Why?
I heard that too, actually.
Yeah.
Why?
That's my
Is
favorite
it
one.
not safe?
That was
You
like-
would, you would think it's a wooden coaster that they're
Yeah,
shutting
straight
down.
up, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite roller coaster.
The wooden roller coaster?
Corkscrew.
No, the corkscrew because it's safe. It's like you know, you're strapped
You
in,
feel
right?
secure.
Yeah. Joe?
Are we talking scary? Like, can we talk like paranormal too, or like?
Yeah, as long as it's
for
fun.
fun.
Sure.
As long as
Was
it's
it fun?
Probably like.
It wasn't fun, man. I got like
No, I'm gonna talk about-
possessed, dog.
There's this one time I was at Six Flags, and like they have a ride called the Drop of Doom. It's exactly like the elevator, but it's like 3 times as tall.
Oh.
I was going up, and usually I'm like good with roller coasters.
Yeah.
But I was going up, and then when it dropped, I blacked out for like 3 seconds. Yo.
Jeez.
Like I just fell asleep, and then I woke up yelling, you know. Like while it's dropping, I'm just like dead, yo.
So you fainted?
Yeah, I fainted.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for like.
That's part of the ride, bro.
That's hilarious.
So like in like those videos.
Yeah.
you know the slingshot?
That's
you
exactly what
see the slingshot,
Right?
right?
Oh yeah.
They throw up the screw like last
Yeah.
second, and then it's like, oh shit, and then they launch you, and then they put the camera on, right, and then everyone's like,
Yeah,
That's so funny.
That's torture.
Six Flags, eh?
That was- yeah.
Scary, man.
Shit.
Richard.
I think like my scariest fun experience probably like cliff jumping like off like White Cliff yeah, because it's like when you're like looking down you have no idea like how deep it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you just like go after
Is it a free fall or bungee jump? Or?
no, it's
Free
just
fall.
like no, it's straight up like free fall like
Oh,
into
you're,
the
like,
water.
into the water.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's like you never know what's under the water.
Exactly. And there was like no one that was like there like jumping too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we're just like, all right, let's just go with it. This seems like not that steep, but then I don't know.
But how comfortable are you with swimming though?
Like pretty comfortable, but it's just like
Oh,
Nevertheless,
you're
no
just
matter
like you
how-
can't see, like
Yeah.
you don't know. It's just the jump, right? Or
Yeah.
even the anticipation. Like everyone's like, "Yo, just do it." I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that's probably like my fun and scary experience.
Don't gotta worry about this guy swimming though. This
Yeah.
guy's actually a god swimmer, dude. I'm not even joking. I can go on about that, but I have 2 stories. One's kind of what the fuck. The second one was I went to Whistler. There I went on the longest. What is it?
Yeah, the longest zip lining in like the northern hemisphere, like some shit like that.
Okay.
It's like 8 kilometers or
the
something.
longest zip line
It's just-
in North America. I think.
It's just like, when's this over, bro?
Basically it's from it's at Whistler. It's from a mountain to another mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it peak to peak?
I guess so.
But you're
Yeah,
not
on like a small like mountain though.
You're strapped in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? It's like depends on your grip, how long you're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 kilometers. No, it's not 8 clicks. I don't know how long it is though, but
But anyways, Richard recommended it to me. It was mine and my girlfriend's anniversary, and then we went up to Whistler and all this stuff, and then we were just going up the ski lift to go up to the mountain, but then we kept going up. I'm
Yeah.
like, when are we gonna stop? The anxiety is just building up.
bro,
So
it doesn't
you're
even
going
stop there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's past the ski jump,
Yeah.
and then there's a van up there.
Yeah,
you go up
straight.
higher.
Yeah,
and then
actually.
it's like a rocky road, and
Yeah.
like you have to hike a little bit to get to where the ziplining spot is,
Right.
right? And then I realized, oh my god, we are so high right now.
Yeah.
It's so high, and then I'm losing my mind because like when you're, it's not compared to like skydiving, like when you jump off the plane, right? But then
Yeah.
when you're on the ledge, you're supposed to like kick yourself off.
Yeah.
Right, and jump.
Yeah.
But the jump is actually really steep, so it actually feels like you're falling. For a
Yeah.
minute. You're like, man, I jumped off. I was going so fast. I got so scared. I was trying to film on the GoPro, right? Oh, L. I
shit.
was going so fast. I turned backwards the whole way. So I don't know what the heck's
Bro, that's what
behind me.
happened to me too, bro. That's what happened to me too.
So I'm going backwards. I don't know what's behind me. I'm so scared. And like, and you look down. You don't want to look down. And Nina's like way past, like she's way up there. I'm going way too fast. And then like, it was just over in seconds. But I was like, it was fun,
Yeah.
but it was
It's
scary.
scary.
And then they let you reminisce while you wait, like on how high it is too,
Yeah.
and all you see is like trees and rocks.
You
I'm
look
like,
down.
sorry, you can't
Yeah.
go yet. Just stay here for a second.
Yeah, shit.
Just watching you.
You look down, like midway through the zip line, it's a crevice.
Yeah, actually,
Rock bottom.
actually.
That's terrifying.
My other story, it was at White Cliff Park. I was trying to take like a photo, right? But then it was like kind of like almost late into the day almost, and the waves are kind of getting kind of rural. They're kind of getting wild, and I was trying to take a photo on a rock, right? And then like the wave started hitting me on the rock, so the rock was getting kind of slippery. So I slipped. I kind of banged up my knee a bit. I'm like, oh shit, yo, I need to get out of here, right? Nina is trying to take a picture of me, and like, she's just laughing at me. But I'm actually scared. I'm like, yo, help me, please, right? And like, I thought I was gonna slip off the rock. I can swim, but it was still kind of scary though, because like the
Yeah.
rocks behind that rock, it was like all
Sharp.
like sharp.
Like coral.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, and I was just trying to take a photo. So
Do it for the gram. Right?
yeah, do it for the gram. I never posted that photo because it was a bad photo because it's just me slipping.
Where were you?
White Cliff Park.
White Cliff.
Oh.
I was like on the edges.
Yeah.
I was trying. Me and you were trying to get as far as we possibly could, but then like we stopped there. So yeah, Ceston, scary.
I was
Fun?
in Philippines.
Mm.
Where was it? It's not El Nido, but it's
Hello.
close to El Nido. Forgot. Anyway, there's a beach, right? And then off to the beach, like huge boulders of rock across the beach, right? Not across the beach, but perpendicular to the beach. So it's going this way. And then I'm probably like maybe half a kilometer, maybe a quarter kilometer away from it. But then all the waves kept pushing me there. And I was too far into the ocean to swim my way opposite and reach the shore before I get into the rocks, right? And then these waves are so big, mind you, I'm not good at swimming. I can stay up for a bit, and then I'll probably drown. I don't know why I went out that far, right? But I was having a lot of fun, like, yo, this is fun. Oh shit, the waves are pushing me to the rocks now. And then I started going all the way there, and then for some reason, I was like looking like this the whole time under the water. And then luckily, I managed to kind of go onto the rocks before the wave pushed me off of the rock. So luckily, I was able to balance myself and hop off the waters before it chewed me up.
Damn.
I'm glad you're
Thanks,
here.
man.
Yeah.
Made it, made it
There we
alive.
go.
Were you like a little kid that time, or were you?
No, last year,
Oh,
Philippines.
jeez, that was
Last
a
year.
road trip.
Comes
Last
back,
year
doesn't
was-
even tell us the story,
The
bro.
waves are
Wow.
so
What's the
strong.
Yeah. Actually almost died, bro.
He saved it all the way to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew.
You knew.
I knew you were gonna talk about it.
If you were famous for something, what would it be and why? Starting with Cassandra.
Okay, wait. So this question,
Yeah.
is it like you just want to be this, or it's something that people already know you for?
I guess for this. Or something you want, something you
Okay.
want.
Yeah, something you'd like to be famous for.
Can I go last?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Aaron.
There we go.
Oh, this guy wants to be a singer, bro.
Okay.
He is a singer, bro.
Okay, a singer or something in music, man. It's like I want to create music.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In the works, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the works.
In the works.
EP soon.
EP's dropping soon.
Dropping soon.
Yeah.
Stay
How about
tuned.
you, Eric?
Listening party coming soon.
Something to be famous for? Like, how famous are you talking about?
No, you're just famous. You're just
no,
famous.
just-
RDJ.
Like, people just
Like
write,
A-list,
right?
like A-list.
Yeah.
A-list.
Like 1K followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
One.
1K.
Like Z-list. No, I'm just joking, I'm just joking. A-list? A-list celebrity?
Like-
Jeez, bro.
I
Like
don't
The
know.
Weeknd. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
I
think
would be
about-
like a painter, man, to be honest.
Bob
Like,
Ross.
Oh,
I
Bob
know,
Ross.
Probably like put some paintings in like crazy museum or like art galleries or something like that. Something like what Jean-Michel Basquiat went through.
Sick.
Oh.
Who?
Sick. Basquiat.
Basquiat, he's like one of the, he's like an old school painter that died at 27. You know, he came out with a lot of
Wow.
iconic pieces like The Crown,
That crown, that like rough
27
drawn
Club.
crown.
27 Club.
Yeah.
He did a collab with Uniqlo. They like came out a bunch of shirts.
There's a lot of artists that
Sorry.
shout him
It's
out.
very sketched.
That's very
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He used to be a well-known graffiti artist back in the day when he was young. He started off as a, his mom encouraged him to go into the arts, and he eventually came out as a, as I don't know how to explain it because I read some of his books. My friend actually bought a book for him, but yeah, he's just a very well-known street artist.
That's
That died at a young age, and
That's dope.
today's hip hop really recognized that. So
How did he pass?
drugs,
I see.
yeah.
Overdose.
I believe I think it's actually drugs, but I could be wrong though.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I want to be iconic.
Sure.
Me, I'd probably say like a musician for like an artist.
Hmm.
So like I'm still like on tour with them. I'm like still, but I'm like not that known. Still like, kind of
Yeah.
known, and I get to
Low-key
experience
known.
all
Yeah.
of it. But,
Yeah.
You want someone
I
from
see
the audience like, yo, I know who produced this beat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like
shade
that.
up.
Yeah, beat production.
Shade up.
Metro.
Mm.
Murder beats.
Okay.
That's me.
Ariana Grande,
Yeah.
God is Woman.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Richard.
I want to be a hand model. Shade up, yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
That's
You say what?
A hand
Say
model.
what?
Like shade up.
Hand model?
A hand model.
For like watches?
Yeah, like watches, rings, shit like that. Yeah.
Can you name any famous hand models?
No, I can't. But when I get there, I name myself.
Yeah.
Shade up.
Dude, man.
No, that's
Gucci's looking for a hand model?
Yeah, it's like, I got
No
you,
guy,
bro.
no guy.
Chop my hand up, bro. Send it.
Audition.
Yeah, audition.
Audition. Ship it over.
It's like, can you do this pose? Yeah, I got you.
Richard Nguyen. Take one.
Take one.
Can you do that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I were to be famous for something, probably an actor. An actor. That'd be
I can see
That was my second choice. That was my
yeah.
second- Actually,
An actor. Maybe like a talk show host. I've hosted a show, aside from this
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
But yeah, an actor.
Dope.
Late night show with Brendan.
I'd probably be either an innovator or an inventor.
what'd you invent, bro?
Elon Musk.
Can't say. People are gonna steal it.
Yeah, Oh, he's
Alright.
quick, eh? Quick, eh?
Knows the answer.
I'm
He's
ready.
quick.
No, I'm kidding. But
Some jewelry?
Someone
Yeah.
like
Some
Elon
ideas.
Musk, you know, someone like Elon Musk, really to drive the future, but people don't even realize it until
Right.
it
He's
finally
from the
hits
future,
them.
bro. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually from the future.
So is Ceston, bro.
Don't spill the
Oh, shit.
It's
Like, this cut.
a secret.
We're just gonna cut right now.
What's the next question, man?
No,
Oh, I-
Oh, right,
Cassandra has
right,
a
right,
go.
right. I thought
I
you went first. I thought you went
passed.
first.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
you
you're
went
right. I passed. I would want to be famous for just my artwork.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I've kind of been doing stuff already, but my work's kind of combined with like photography, design. But I want to get into video as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my work.
Lovely.
That's good. That's good stuff.
What European destination would you guys travel to, and why?
London.
Okay, starting with Eric.
There we
I
go.
would go London. Just for the architecture there, and me being in art, I really want to go into like the art galleries there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unit London is actually one of them too. They have crazy pieces, and yeah, that's just one of the places that I would really go to.
So
as well
one-
as Stonehenge as well. I would really go to Stonehenge.
This guy wants to transport to Mars or something.
Yeah. No, I've read up articles about Stonehenge a lot, and it's like a really different, atmosphere down there.
Mhm.
It's almost like the Mayan temples that you see
Yeah.
down in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Egypt. You get the same type of experience there, or same atmosphere, oddly enough. But that's some of the places that I want to go to.
Mayan ruins.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but can you only see the Stonehenge from far away, like kilometers away?
You can't go up close.
Yeah, you can't go up close.
Oh
But
shit.
why? Because they blocked it off, or?
I don't know. I think it's just forbidden.
Like it's so people.
Oh.
Don't.
Yeah.
No, there's actually tourists.
So you don't.
No, I know.
Down there.
I know, but
But I
like
don't
they
know.
can't go too close. You know.
You
Yeah.
need to buy VIP passes.
Like bird.
I could be wrong. That's just what I remember.
No. You know why? Because I read up an article recently about Stonehenge, and I think the reason why they block it off is because someone from the 50s stole a piece from Stonehenge. And recently,
The 50s.
How big of a piece?
and I have no idea, but just recently, that person who stole that piece returned it back.
Is it true that the Stonehenge has like something? Like,
It's an old calendar.
It's like a hidden message or
Yeah.
something.
Fun fact about Stonehenge is that if I don't know if this is like for real confirmed, but like if you take a hammer or anything thick or solid, if you actually hit one of the stones, it creates a certain tone. you know?
Right,
Oh.
I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's one of the fun facts about Stonehenge, really. You know how you mentioned how it's a good calendar?
Yeah.
The way how it's shaped.
Yeah.
So you know how there's like, pillars and then there's
Yeah.
a block place
Yeah.
on top.
It's like a sundial.
It's like, yeah, you use that at night just to determine where the stars are aligned, and it tells you which part of the year you're in.
Yeah.
basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And it's a teleportation.
It's really cool like that.
Yeah.
Teleportation.
Bring back
Teleportation to Mars.
Ceston's inventions from the future.
Yeah.
So it's in the now.
I'm gonna reinvent the stone.
Ceston's the guy who returned the rock.
Yeah.
No, he jacked.
Yo, we're saying too much, man.
Yeah.
Someone stop this guy.
But yeah.
European destination.
I think I said it before. I want to go to like Greece or Rome.
Santorini.
Yeah, yeah.
Any reason why?
It looks awesome. I just want to.
Nice.
I just
It's
want to.
sick.
Yeah, I don't
Greece is
know.
nice.
Sightseeing.
Get some peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to see like the big Colosseum in like Rome or
Yeah.
something.
That's
Mhm.
dope.
The
And,
Leaning Tower.
like look into the past.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. I want to go to Italy to try the pizza
Mm.
and pasta and wine.
I like that.
And wine. There you
So I
go.
want to go to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Italy for another thing.
For what?
I wanted to go to Italy to see Italian volleyball, if that makes sense. But
Italian volleyball.
yeah, it's like they had one of the best teams in the
Oh.
world. So
Oh, crazy.
Damn.
yeah, but that's not my destination though. I want to go to Paris, but I just want to see like Eiffel's Tower type of vibes. Get that real baguette, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real banh mi.
Yeah,
straight up. But yeah, that's me. That's me. Richard.
I want to go. I was googling earlier. I want to go Monaco.
Monaco.
Yes,
Monaco.
because they have like every year they have like the Grand Prix there. Yeah, and like it's like one of the biggest like European like events that you could
Yeah.
possibly go to, and just like they have like a lot of like architecture,
Yep.
stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Sherwin?
I was gonna say Greece, but that was taken. So I'm gonna say Germany because I just want to drive on the autobahn like once.
Oh,
car
what car would you
guy.
drive?
Fast as
What
you
car
can.
would you want to drive? Like if you had all the money that you can rent a car for whatever days, what car would you?
Probably like
Batmobile.
the new McLaren, yo.
Yo.
The
Senna?
The Senna, bro. I want to drive the Senna.
It's like
dude.
$2 million,
It's
right?
$2 million.
Wow.
It's like
Light-
full carbon fiber.
Lightning McQueen?
Yeah.
Mario Kart?
Yeah, there we go. Mario
Drive me,
Kart.
bro.
Clearly know nothing about cars. I know how to drive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
If you guys can instantly become an expert or a master at something,
Oh.
just what would it be?
Oh, I already know.
Starting with Jerwin, since he already
Yeah.
I
knows.
want to be able to speak every language, bro.
Yo, that's
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, one language
That's
only.
a really good
What?
call.
Is that like
Japanese.
computer languaging too, bro?
Everything. Well, no, like language, like talking. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Just like
That's
be
true.
like multilingual.
That's
Oh.
a good one.
Wait, so wait, can you repeat the question one more time?
If you can become an expert or master at anything, what would it be and why?
Oh, I didn't say
Like,
why, just
bang.
I would probably master quantum physics.
Quantum physics?
Damn.
What is quantum physics?
That wasn't
sir?
time travel, man.
There we go.
I just want to time travel.
This is why he's going to Stonehenge.
He's already mastered it.
You're the guy that returned it, huh?
It's too much. Too much.
You try and clear your name or something, bro?
No, but for fucks though, I would just probably do quantum physics.
Alright.
Flux capacitor.
I'd be a master in cooking, man.
Oh, straight.
Oh.
Cooking, yo.
Get all that
That's a good one.
Cook every meal, like
Meal prep?
Meal prep. That's one is like cook everything. Everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to bite into something and say,
Mhm.
there's 15 milligrams of sugar in here. You know? Like,
Yo,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
damn.
15 milligrams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tastes like ash.
Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
Like soup from the pot. Needs more salt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You
stuff
know?
like that. Stuff like that.
No, not really.
What would your specialty be then?
No, more like
Pizza.
soup. It's like, oh, this
Yeah,
is in
like
here,
pizza.
this is in here, this is in
We can
here.
learn. We can learn.
I'm really good at making meat rings, so.
Yeah, that's
So
good
am
enough.
I.
Hey!
It's good enough. It's good enough.
Plus.
The only thing about meat ring is like the egg part, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Sorry, go on.
There's a microwave, right? Make it ring.
If I were to be a master at something instantly, I'd
Microwave
want to be a
it up.
master at making videos, so videography.
Videography.
There you
Yeah,
go.
storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it's really neat.
Nice.
You want to tell the story through the work, right? Without like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
That's awesome.
That's a great one. 9.
Yeah.
You know, I asked this question. I didn't actually have an answer for it. So, like, if I could master anything, probably like any instrument, really. An instrument, particularly like the piano. Yeah.
Any aspirations from that?
Aspirations.
Or like who's your inspo when it comes to that?
Oh, like piano? No, I just like how you can play like anything on the piano,
Oh.
and like it sounds like. I assume in like in a lighter tone, I guess, because I used to, if you guys already know this, I actually mention this like all the time, but I watch a lot of anime, and a lot of people cover anime like background music and like movies too, right? They make a piano version of that original soundtrack, right? And it sounds amazing how they can just like play with the keys and make it work, and it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's for me. Instruments.
Nice.
Ceston.
Fuck, I forgot. I was gonna say that.
Videography.
Yeah.
You could say it. You could say it.
No. Oh man, I forgot. Camping.
Well, you could
No.
say it, but
Camping?
then you have to have like, what's your reason for it?
Yeah.
This man built a tent.
Well, I got into videos like grade 8, so like, it was like what, 10 years ago? No,
Yeah.
8 years ago?
Yeah.
7 years ago? Something like
You're
that.
just saying that.
Something like that. But, yo, I actually forgot. Yo, you go, Rich.
I was gonna say sports, cause could you imagine like whatever ball like
Yeah.
comes into your hand?
Boy
So
thing to
good.
say.
Yeah.
Sports.
It's like, yo, pass me a baseball, like boom, homer, or like,
Homer.
yeah, or, like give me the football, play any position or whatever.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
like really athletic. Just like
Yeah,
naturally
well, like no,
athletic,
like
or,
it comes down to like every aspect of sports,
Oh,
like
okay.
even like
Oh, like-
even to
Okay, so
like
if
coaching,
you were-
yeah, knowledge or
If you
whatever.
were to
Technique.
pick one, which one
Technique.
would it be?
No, well, like
Okay, pick
I don't know.
one.
You gotta
Pick
pick
one.
one sport.
probably like football,
Football.
because I like the sport really intrigues me. Yeah,
Football, eh?
yeah,
Not golf.
like American football.
Okay.
And then if you knew it that well, would you try to like go into betting and stuff like that too?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, or coaching, or just be an athlete.
True.
If you just master football, right?
No, I'll just
Or
watch
do
it.
all of it. Do all of it.
Just watch
I'm
it.
the coach now. And the QB, and the running back, wide receiver,
The
everything.
owner.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like only Richard on the field.
My team's just Richard.
The camera pans to the
Yeah.
field, and then the camera like
The
pans
national-
over there. Richard's on the mic. He's running the play.
Like,
Got
this is the play we're gonna run, Richard. All right, Richard. Yeah, pass it to Richard, and you're gonna score the touchdown,
This
Richard.
guy's like talking to himself like,
Yeah.
that guy's crazy.
This is a bad
Yeah.
movie. Horrible movie.
And I win the bet.
That was great.
Sorry, totally off topic. But if I think I asked this before, but
No,
if
you
could-
still didn't remember.
Oh, you could-
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
My first thought was survival instincts, and then
Bear Grylls.
and then I thought of money management.
Ooh.
Oh.
Guys
Like
are
what?
Practical with it.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like
just knowing-
investing maybe?
Yeah, knowing how to make your money make you money. You know?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No.
Bitcoin? No, it's
nothing,
like
nothing gambling.
with his knowledge.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it. Oh yeah.
Um,
No, I didn't answer
More.
the Europe one. I pick Iceland.
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 Why Iceland?
it's just so.
It's not Greenland.
It's like
So much ice.
it's.
No, Iceland is great.
No, I know. It's
There's just so many different. I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's just Iceland. You see a photo and you can tell it's probably from Iceland.
Really?
Oh.
I don't know. It's so wide in terms of the kind of nature that they have there,
Yeah.
and it's just so completely opposite of urban. Like it's pure raw nature form in its purest form. I mean.
I know that Iceland is very iconic for their aurora borealis or their northern lights.
Yeah.
That's one of their tourist attractions actually. Quite nice.
Wow.
Ceston's dream is to become the Prime Minister of Iceland.
Iceland.
Yeah.
No.
You survive in Iceland.
Put my sports team in there, bro.
Iceland Richards. The Iceland Richards.
Iceland Richard?
The Iceland Richards. Jerry?
How are you doing?
He
Are
went?
you in?
He started.
Master? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Eric.
Big Messiah, man.
All right. So moving on to the next segment. This is the G-Town Tales. We usually do this, we do this almost every single episode where we tell a story. This is the origin story of Miss Casandra Parto. So Cassandra, to the audience that do not know you, please introduce yourself to them.
Hi.
Hey.
My name's Casandra Parto. I was born in Burnaby but raised in Surrey. I went to 3 different high schools in Surrey, and one of them being what's it called? Guildford. I kind of grew up in G-Town, so it was pretty funny when when you made your podcast. I was like, oh, G-Town, like
Hey.
people who live in Guildford call it G-Town, but like anyone else doesn't know what the heck that is.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's kind of my growing up story, I guess.
Ah. Oh, you know what? I thought, sorry, going back into family history, I thought you came from Winnipeg too.
Oh no,
No,
that's,
no, right?
that's
That's
my
like-
siblings.
That's
Yeah,
Vanessa
yeah.
and Ryan. And then,
Yeah.
Okay.
So my
Gotcha.
siblings were born and raised in Winnipeg, but my parents migrated over to Vancouver, and then I was born here.
I
Nice.
see.
Yeah. Some local.
After school, what did you study anything? That's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my last high school was L.A. Matheson, or no, not L.A. Matheson, Sullivan Heights.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. So I went to Johnson Heights, L.A. Matheson, and then Sullivan Heights.
Mm.
But Sullivan Heights, it was really fun because I had you know how you have 4 electives in grade 12?
Yeah.
So my 4 electives were for 4 different art classes.
Uh-huh.
And so I had the same teacher for a really long time.
Nice.
Mhm.
But it was really nice because he kept pushing me to do different subjects in art, which is photography, design, clay, painting, drawing, all that stuff. And I had no idea what I wanted to do after high school. It was kind of in this era in my life where it was okay, I know I want to do something creative, but specifically, I don't really know yet.
Mhm.
So my mom wanted to push me into getting into something creative, so I ended up checking out the Art Institute of Vancouver.
Mhm.
And so there I had an orientation of what they had to offer, and the one that stood out to me was graphic design. And at the time, before I went to that orientation, I didn't really know what it was. I was okay, you do art on the computer, but what does that really mean? And so you kind of learn there's so many different areas of graphic design, and the ones that really stood out to me was marketing and being able to build anything creative when it comes to your photography, or starting from digital artwork with either drawing something and then putting it into the program and then sketching it out, or actually drawing it inside the program. So all that kind of stuck with me, and I was okay, that's what I want to do.
Mhm.
And I ended up going to the Art Institute of Vancouver, and I graduated there with a diploma in design. And then my career kind of kicked off. But during that program, you learn a bunch of different foundation classes as well, which is color theory, concept development, photography, all the basics, right? And in that, I guess I really, found that photography was something that that really resonated with me.
Yeah,
I wanted to pursue that, but I didn't know how to. I didn't think that there was like a market for that, at least here in Vancouver. But I think I just like wasn't exposed to what we have here. And so I didn't know that right away. It's just something that I kind of picked up along the way, like even before in high school, it was like, oh, I like taking photos, but you don't think that it's a job. But I think now people do think it's a job because it's like you have so much more exposure on the internet. Like people actually do this stuff for a living. Like you see people behind the scenes, you see people doing portraits. Like there's so many different kinds of areas whether it's like wedding photography or commercial work or just like events. So yeah, after design, I did that for about 3 years at a fireplace company. Because after I got my diploma, I was like, okay, I'm not sure what I want to do with it, but I was like, I have this background. I want to go to a company that has like this knowledge and I can apply what I've learned in school to that company. But I also want to keep learning. Like I don't really know what to do with it yet. There's the whole route of like freelancing, but I was like, I didn't feel like that was right for me. So I was like, okay, go into a company, fireplace company, was there for like 3 years, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I at a fireplace company? Making brochures. Like it was great experience. Like I learned how to make ads and market for magazines and for print and for web and do all like the nitty gritty stuff. But I just wasn't passionate about it. So you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, this is probably not what I'm meant to do. Like I'm sure you guys have had that feeling or are having that feeling now. So I was like, I need to switch out of this. And so I decided to make a jump, which was kind of scary because it's like, you go to school for something for a few years and you have your student loans and then, you're still paying it off. But then at the same time, you're like, am I supposed to jump career paths just because I feel like it? Like, or should I keep doing this because this is what I went to school for? But it just like wasn't for me. So I left a good paying job, security, and I decided...
Security?
Well, security as in like a good paying job, and I felt secure in that job. It was like good money. But then I started doing security after that.
Concord?
Yeah, Concord Pacific. I had to leave that because I was like, okay, to jump to photography, I had to like gain some sort of experience. So I was like looking for something, and unfortunately, I had to take like a big pay cut for this. So I started doing like an internship that paid, but like it was like minimum wage, like it wasn't as many hours, but you have to make those sacrifices for like the things that you really want, right? So I did that, and it got me to this job that I actually really loved at a boutique downtown, and I was doing photography, but I was working in retail as well, and I was handling like their e-commerce, and it was great experience. Like I felt like I was happy, I was doing what I wanted to do, I was learning, and then I was like, I want more, and like this is great, but I'm like, I want to do more like studio, like photography work. Like I want to be making like photos that like you see in ads or like in magazines and stuff. And specifically fashion was something that kind of resonated with me. So eventually I heard of this company called Kit and Ace that had just recently opened up. Oh, you guys know Kit? Yeah. So Kit and Ace that opened up. It was still pretty new. I think like a year, 2 years old. And
it was that new at the time.
It was still pretty new. Yeah.
What year was this around? It's like 2014, 2015.
It's still quite new.
2015, 16, something like that. Yeah.
Because I remember you told me you were working there.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, it's still new. And like, is there boutiques still open in the downtown?
Yeah, there's I think there's still one. I think there's the one in Gastown. I'm not sure how many there are now.
Okay.
But it's just in Canada.
Was there one in West Forth? Correct me if I'm wrong.
There is
I'm
one
not
in West Fourth.
Sure.
There
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Right
The
next
one
to
at
each
Metro.
other.
Close.
That
Oh
was
yes,
that was a
West Fourth. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Metro
By
closed.
Champ, like,
Metro
Yeah,
was a
exactly.
pop-up store, and then the main one is like the one
Is
where you
Gastown.
worked out, Gastown. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually didn't work in retail. I was in the
course.
office. Yeah. But it was like at that time where it was still new, and it was like you'd walk by like, what is this? And it just had like
Yeah.
that little shape. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what's in here?
Yeah.
And then so yeah, I just looked online to like see what job opportunities they had, and I was like, oh, and they had one for a photography or brand photography retoucher, and it was like, okay,
Wow.
cool, like editing photos. I'm like, I could learn to do that. And then so before getting that job, I was like, okay, well, you have to like build your portfolio. Like
Yeah.
that's part of your resume, right? When you're creative, you have to have a portfolio of your work. And so I was trying to build that, and I started off with what I did at Mine and Yours, which was the boutique I was working at. And then also just kind of like shooting what I liked outside of that, just like creative work, like find a friend you like, get them in good clothes, get them in a location that looks cool, shoot them, edit it, awesome. And then a lot of the times I was like on YouTube learning like how to retouch, like how to make skin look soft, and like all these like small techniques. Which was awesome because it's like you have such a free library, like such a big free library of like anything you want to learn.
That's so true. Like
Yeah,
you can
right?
find anything
Yeah.
on YouTube now. Like
And
there's a
DIY.
tutorial for it.
Exactly.
They learn
Yeah.
anything and everything. Yeah.
So that was like super useful for me at the
Nice.
time, and that helped me build my portfolio for applying at Kidneys. And then once I applied there, it was so scary because I was like, who knows? Like Kidneys is such a big company. I like saw it on LinkedIn and like didn't know anyone who worked there, but then I applied, and it was like 125 candidates have applied for this position. I was like,
Jeez.
whatever, I'll try anyways.
Yeah, straight up.
And then yeah, like you just never know. So I applied, and then you know you go through the first round of interviews, and I was like, oh, I got an interview.
Yeah.
So I was like so stoked, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh god, I need to practice. Like, how do I retouch? Because they also like in that process, instead of like just having a face to face, like they'll be like, okay, here's a laptop. You know, edit this photo however you want, and then I'll come back and like check it out for you. And I was like, okay. And then so I edited the photo using 2 different programs, and just like learn like from the things that I learned on the internet.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, and eventually I got the job, and I was like so shocked, but at the same time like so happy and like so proud of myself. And yeah, from then on, yeah, I worked there for a little bit. They kind of, you know, they did some restructuring in the company, so they let a lot of people go. And so I was only with them for a short amount of time, but in that amount of time, like, I felt like I learned so much, like, being able to learn how to edit a lot more properly now, and then also just, like, being behind the scenes of, like, what goes on in a photo shoot, and then working with a whole bunch of other creatives, like-minded individuals that are also around my age or, like, older that I could learn from. So it was really, really cool. Met a lot of good people that I'm still, like, in contact with now. And then when they were doing their layoffs, I was like part of the first batch. And I was like, oh my god. Well, actually, no. I wasn't part of the first batch. My second day there, they let go of like half the designers and like, I don't know, a ton of other people. And they had like a huge meeting. I was like, oh my god, is this going to happen to me? Like, I just started here like 2 days ago.
Wow.
And eventually it happened 3-4 months later, I think it was. So, but it was okay because I was already in that mindset where it's like, okay, like anything can happen at this point. And then after that, luckily I had like my graphic design background, so I fell back on that. And then I worked at another agency, which I was at for like 3 years. But then I learned there that, you know, this is still not what I want to do, although it is in my background and I can do it.
Yeah.
This is still, like, I did all that. I left my good paying job. I you know, made it this far only to kind of, like, step back, but to realize, like, okay, I need to keep going.
Yeah.
Like these setbacks are only minor setbacks. It's like, if you know what you want, just keep going for it.
Like you didn't get here just to get here.
Yeah, exactly. Like stuff's gonna happen to you. Like your plans are not always gonna go as you planned, but you just keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I was back doing design for 2.5 years, and then eventually at Kitten Ace, like my old boss, he reached out to me, and he knew that I was like looking because he was like one of my references, and so he reached out to me and we had a meeting, and he told me about his new company and he needed a photographer, and I was like, whoa, like everything happens for a reason. So it was kind of just like crazy, like full circle over the span of like 5 years or no, less than 5 years actually. Like 3-4 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where I am now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Things can happen, guys.
Yeah.
Like in a small amount of times and change just like that.
Yeah, honestly, like in that 1 year where I would like left my old job, worked at the boutique, worked at Kitten Ace, and then worked at another agency. It was just like that was like all in 1 year. It was crazy, but it's just like you have to just keep going. Yeah.
Well, sorry, you talk about your programs. What programs do you use?
Oh, so basically they're all Adobe programs. So
There you go.
yeah, we also use Capture One. So Capture One is a program that you mainly like use in studio to shoot.
Okay.
So while you're shooting, you tether to your computer,
Uh-huh.
and the photos will come into the program. And it's just like easy to basically have them in libraries.
Oh yeah.
And then editing after as well.
So it's all there and like in the storage already, so you
Yeah.
don't have to like upload and do all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then also there's Photoshop, which we all know Photoshop, and then Lightroom, which is similar to Capture One, but it's just an Adobe program versus Capture One where it's its own. So Lightroom, you can do the same thing, you can tether to it, but you can also edit in it. So we edit in both Lightroom and Capture. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I feel like you answered so many questions in that one. What I just asked.
Oh.
Yeah, like from what you studied all the way to where you work now. Amazing. That's great. That's so awesome.
It's like, it's hard to like shorten that.
Yeah. When you were like building up your portfolio and whatnot, you invested in your own camera, right? Or it's like
well, it's funny. I mean, like you kind of just work with what you have, and so at the time when I didn't really like know that I wanted to shoot, I think like the first thing I had was like a Canon like point and shoot, and it was just like one of those like black like skinny ones.
Yeah.
Like, you know, automatically has a flash up there, like, nothing professional at all. And then eventually it was like, okay, like maybe get like the next level up, and then it was like a Rebel 2 Ti, and so like something more like a DSLR where it has like the interchangeable lenses, but like not as pro as like a $3,000 camera. Yeah, so I started off with like something really basic. Honestly, you can take amazing photos on your iPhone.
That's right.
People do it all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Android versus iPhone? All right. Sorry.
Straight up, right?
We have this debate all the time. That's why.
How many people are iPhones?
Raise hands for iPhones.
Raise hands. Okay, you
And
guys
then
are Android.
these three.
Gotcha.
And Ceston one time did this Android to iPhone comparison.
Yeah.
Unfair.
Unfair.
How the hell is that?
I'm
What was
kidding.
it?
What
We're joking.
the
We're joking.
heck?
Low light.
Oh, right.
But it's all good.
I'll show you after.
Solid.
It was like very low light, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those $3,000 cameras. Do you work with them now?
Yes.
Like those cameras.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, like we have them at work, but also I just recently invested in getting one because I had like an old one for a really long time. And it was like almost embarrassing to be like, "Oh, you're a photographer? Like, what do you shoot with?" Like, I don't know. I don't want to tell you. So eventually, I've recently upgraded, and now I have a Sony camera. So
Lovely.
yeah.
Which one?
A7 Mark III.
Nice. What do you shoot with again?
I want that one.
What if she wants?
It's good. All the reviews and stuff are really good, and then I recently went to to Tokyo, and that was like, this year I was like, I'm gonna invest in a really good camera for myself. And then Tokyo was coming up, and I was like, oh, I should probably have a good camera for Tokyo. So then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get it.
How's Tokyo?
So good.
So good.
Have you guys ever been to Tokyo?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
He's been-
Oh,
So like 3 key highlights, I guess, key highlights is like I feel so safe when I'm there. Like I could literally be on the street in the middle of the night, like walking from hotel to hotel or something, and like be on my phone, and it wouldn't feel like anybody's like about to attack me or anything like that. It's like really, really safe. Second one is like it's very clean. Like they don't have any garbage cans or bins anywhere because it's not really like in their culture to like
bring
let's say,
waste. Like
waste, but also just like take food out to go. You know how here like we have drive-throughs and we have like takeout. For them, it's like they have that at like convenience stores, but like usually if you're eating, you're eating in a restaurant and you're sitting down, and then when you gotta leave, you leave. So it's so clean. Like you won't find garbage on the ground. And like my third takeaway is that the food is just really good. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Did you go there for work, or is it all personal leisure?
It was work. Technically,
That's
yeah.
dope.
So our company brought us to Japan on like a field trip, and we were there. Yeah, and it was like it was for ourselves to kind of like, you know, as creatives, it's like you want to be able to like inspire the people who work for you, and also get them to do case studies and do research on like what's good, what's working, and how is that going to affect our business, and how can we learn from that. So I mean, like, why wouldn't you go to Tokyo? Because it's like the most advanced city in the world, right? So yeah, it was really cool.
Would you consider that to be one of your best work experiences?
I would say it's like definitely been like one of the most fun.
Could you bring her profile, her website?
Do you want to know my favorite work
Yeah.
experience or my best work experience? Okay.
Please.
So, my favorite was when I was working at Victory. I was still doing design, but I was assigned to a photography project. So we went down to Palm Springs, and I was able to be there and shoot the Revolve Festival. Yeah, so, and it was like a collaboration with Nike. And honestly, like working with the team down there, like they're all so sweet, all so nice. And then being able to like do that and travel for something that you love doing was just like such a highlight, especially because it was something that I've been like kind of working towards, and I was like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And it wasn't.
So wait, sorry, this was at Nike?
This was at Victory.
Oh, okay.
The agency I was working for.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But I was there as a designer.
What exactly is the Revolve Festival?
So, have you heard of Revolve? So it's like a brand in the States where they're known for influencer marketing. Like they're really known for partnering with like some of the top influencers in like fashion, and they get them to wear like their clothing. And so this event that they had is like a festival that's kind of correlating with Coachella.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so while Coachella is happening, there's always like events that kind of take place around it. A lot of brands will be like, oh, we're also having like the pre-Coachella party, this party. And it's like, cool, like if you're not at Coachella all day, like go to this party and then go back to Coachella. So Revolve has their own like festival is what they call it. And basically it is kind of a festival. They have a lot of like artists that go there and perform, and it's just a big day party. Yeah, actually it goes into night too, day and night party. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
Because I saw your story and it's like, oh, this like Nike and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, you work at
Yeah.
Nike now? And I'm like,
No,
no, that's what I
no,
thought.
no.
That's what I thought.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But define. In some ways, we also asked a past guest, Barry, like define art.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Or that answer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said this too, but it resonated with me, so I'm gonna say it. Art is subjective. I think art is something that moves people. I mean, whether it's a sculpture, a picture, a painting, 2D, 3D, digital, it's something that just moves people. So it doesn't matter how creative or uncreative it is. It could literally be a painting of a banana, like a Warhol, and that's considered art. And some people may say, that's just the banana. But some people may say, like, I don't know, they might say it's just something bigger in their life. Like, actually, that banana represents, like, something lonely in my life. And, you know what I mean? So I think art is subjective. What do you guys think art is?
I really like your answer. The art, it's something that moves people, like whatever it is, like it's different to everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was just talking to him the other day about music, art and music, and it's basically like a timestamp of how that person was feeling at that time.
True.
Really.
Yeah.
Word from it. But really though, when it comes to art, I feel like it's like what our previous guest said. You can't grade it. You can't, you can't give a definitive answer of what it is if you're not the one who composed it or if you created it. There's no grade to it. There's no real answer to it. It's all about how you feel about it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, for a person who produces his own art in a way, I feel like you can't feel like you hate it or you don't like it or you love it. It's like how you represent it at the time.
It's a genuine feeling, right?
Yeah, basically. So I don't know. Whenever I look at like abstract art or like psychedelic art, it's like it's how they feel, really. So that's how I look at it, really.
I'm a very simple guy, so
Yeah.
for me, art is that's right. It is very moving, depending on who you are. It's different for everyone, right? But for me, it's like that's sick.
So it's more aesthetics, like it just looks good.
Yeah,
Like,
that's good.
that looks
But I would never say something is bad.
Yeah.
Like something's like, because like whatever the artist produced, right? It's their own, and like we can't grade art, right? So I would never say art is bad. I would just be like, weird, but yeah, nice, and then like move on.
Like a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, weird flex, but okay. What? Your favorite artist is actually a story that ties into it. So you told me to.
Yeah.
You have a tattoo. I don't know if you can't show it, can you? Not right now.
I didn't wear a top that allows access.
Yeah, but Casandra has this tattoo.
I have a picture though.
You have
so
a picture?
I can pull that up.
Yeah, if you could. There's this tattoo. It's related to like her favorite artist. What may I have his name again?
Peter Taylor.
Peter Taylor.
Yeah.
So Peter. Actually, no, Cassandra, I'm gonna let you take the story here. The story was a while back, but you got to meet Peter Taylor too, right?
Yes.
Which is great, and she got a tattoo based from one of his art pieces.
Yes. Okay.
And there is a meaning to it too. So
basically, the first time I ever seen Peter Taylor's artwork was at. Have you guys heard of El Cartel? Yeah. So that's downtown. It used to be on Robson. I used to go in there all the time, and
Peter
it was cool because El Cartel would always have new artist work, or the artist wouldn't always be new, but their artwork would be new. So they'd feature new artwork in the shop every season or so, and sometimes they'd have clothing like merch that would have their artwork on it as well. And his pieces they're really like animated. They're just really nicely done line work, and he makes these characters that always look so peaceful and like they don't always look happy. A lot of them do, but it's very peaceful. It's very calming, And
We'll put
I
that on screen
loved
right now.
the detail in it so much. I just like found like his artwork was just very unique and different than anything that I've ever really seen before. And eventually, like, I've just been collecting like his artwork for like years. And a friend of mine had set up a day on my birthday for me to meet him.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's a local artist, so it was kind of cool. It's like not hard to get a hold of him, but it's not something I'd probably think of doing at the time.
We actually have him on screen too. Like
Oh,
one of his
perfect.
one of his
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
his artworks. So if you can, Ceston, if you can switch the screen. Cassandra, what this piece? Something.
Yeah, something
Close.
like that. So he has a lot of artwork that's like line drawings, but then it's like all that pattern on the top there, it's all detailed like that.
Wow.
It's all this like very like floral, and actually kind of does look like a little psychedelic as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's very, very well done.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's a
nice.
local artist. He's from Vancouver.
Yeah, I think he was from Vancouver, but I think he moved somewhere else in British Columbia.
I
but
see.
He's still somewhat local.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, I collected his work for a bit, and then like even like for like my birthdays, like people would buy me like his original pieces.
Awesome.
Be like, oh my god, this is original Peter Taylor.
Love.
And so when I met him, he already knew of me because did you guys ever have MySpace? Like it's so old. Friendster.
Yeah, like
Friendster.
a year ago.
No, not Friendster, MySpace. Yes, okay, so that's dating me a little bit. But basically MySpace, like, you could tag people on photos, right? Like, it was before Facebook and any of that. And so I think I tagged him in one of my photos because I was wearing a shirt. And then he commented on it. I was like, oh my god, he knows me. I was like so stoked. So I met him, and then he remembered me, and it just like lit up. I was just so happy. But this specific piece that I saw him post on his website, it really stuck with me because he called it a lesson. And so there's two of his characters kind of teaching each other a lesson. And at the time I was in school for design, so I was playing with Photoshop, and I took a picture of me like sitting down, and it was just of my back, and then I photoshopped that artwork onto my back. And he commented on it, and he's like, you should do it. And I was like, okay. And it was funny, like, the more I looked at it, the more I wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, the laws of attraction, right? And so I was like, damn, like, I really want to, like, I've always wanted a tattoo, but you never really know until you know. And then this stuck with me, like, I had more meaning to it. And, like, I found that I learned a lot of my lessons through my interactions with other people. So that's why, like, it just made sense to do it. And then so luckily, like, I have a brother that got me in with a good
Tattoo artist?
Tattoo artist, yeah. And that's how I got my tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Let's see it.
I know, I'm
That's
trying to pull
pretty
up the photo, but Instagram, you know? It's like, how far back is it? Like, do you guys have any tattoos that, like, really mean something to you? I'm assuming
Yeah.
you do.
Eric's the only man with the tattoo.
No.
There's
Andrew.
one guy here who has a tattoo.
I
Oh,
have
yeah, I
it.
did.
Yeah.
Brendan, I have it, I'll show you.
You got it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Oh, I see
I
it.
want to know your
I see
story.
it's right here.
Oh, we have it on the screen.
Let's show it first.
There we go.
Wow.
So those are all my
That's
pieces that I
nice.
have.
Wow.
And all of those were actually given to me.
Lovely.
So,
Jeez.
yeah, all those people were really nice. And then, yeah, that's the piece I got. So it's one character teaching another character a lesson.
Dang, who's the tattoo artist, eh? Where? Who?
This was on Kingsway
Uh-huh.
at a studio called Monkey King.
Oh,
But this is not his
I knew
style.
it. I knew it.
But this is not his style of tattooing.
Yeah,
It was
definitely
actually
not.
from another tattoo artist, Diego. He's actually from LA, so he came in to just like help out. I was just lucky enough that my brother knew him to
And
like,
he was there.
get me in.
That's
So,
That's sick.
yeah.
Wait, so you were just playing around with Photoshop and you happen to have that art piece on you and you just.
Yeah, I really liked that piece specifically, so I'm like, I'm just gonna see what this looks like on the back, and then it's kind of nice because it's like, okay, you can actually visualize it versus like, I wonder what this is gonna look like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So, Photoshop's helpful.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know it because you design, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people who are inked up, let me know the story, a short story of
So I got my first tattoo. It's basically my last name on my left forearm, inner
You
forearm.
want to flash this to the camera a bit?
I don't know if you guys can see this, but sorry. It's basically saying Pizarro right across from here, and basically, I got inspired to do this because my eldest brother actually got his tattoo of our last name first, and then he also got a full back tattoo as well. So that pushed me into getting not the same tattoo, but the same tattoo artist. But basically, for the first tattoo, long story short, I wanted to do family first kind of thing. So I just basically designed this myself, and I decided to design my own cross symbol, I guess, which you can find in my Instagram, I guess, because I threw it in there. But long story short, I wanted to do kind of like a stencil kind of art because I really like drawing, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah, but the other side is basically two lotus. The big one representing my dad, and the small one representing my mom. So
Nice.
yeah, this whole side is supposed to be meant for family. So the family side closer to the heart, basically. So
Cool.
that's what I wanted to do.
Man.
So, yeah.
Did you get it all at the same time?
No,
Or did you get
so
them separately?
I got this one back in as soon as I turned 19. Actually, I think that was like 2016. Yeah, 2016. This was done, and this was done like just last year. So.
And then when they did that, they mimicked the lines from the other side.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
So I designed both of these pieces actually, and I have
Okay.
one coming up soon. But yeah, I tried to make sure like the second piece would line up.
Yeah.
Line up with the other stuff that I have here with the whole floral effects and the lines and stuff. So
It does.
Yeah,
So it looks
so-
good.
yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jared?
Mine's just really small, bro. It's just my parents' birthdays put together in like Roman numerals.
Show it.
Aw, so
Show it,
family
yeah.
oriented.
Take off your shirt, bro. Come on.
Oh, man. Yeah, family first tattoo. And if you like look closely, there's like a 3 in it, and it's kind of darker than everything else. It represents my 3 sisters.
Oh, there it is. Family first
Nice.
Tuesday.
Family first.
Family first tattoo.
Yeah.
Jared!
That's what
What do I mean, man?
What about your bros?
There's a bee in there too.
I'm going around the table with this one question. Treat it as it is. It doesn't have to be that deep. You don't have to get too far into it. Starting with Jerwin though, what is the what is one of the most important things that you guys value in your life?
Starting with me or something?
Starting with
You don't gotta think,
you.
man. You think for like a couple seconds.
Just look at your tattoo.
I feel like everyone's gonna say the same thing.
Like
right?
family?
Family.
I would say future, man.
Future.
Oh, there it is.
You got it. Well, I don't want to go too deep with it, but
Yeah.
you know, priority would be the future,
Mhm.
meaning your future kids, your grandkids, and everything like that.
Mhm.
You gotta save the world. That's pretty much it. That's how I perceive it.
That's nice.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the core things that I'm revolving myself around lately. Something to value. In some ways, it sounds selfish, but I really need to focus on. I agree with you, Eric. Sorry, with your future, to becoming secure, becoming stable. That's like one of the first things that has to come first in my life first before I give. You know, so
Yeah, we're kind of looking at it in the survival aspect.
yeah.
But if it came down to like a common kind of thing with family, probably like, or yourself actually, would probably be mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'd
for
probably
sure.
say that.
That's a good one.
For sure.
Mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, nice
Yeah.
person.
What's the
Yeah.
question? Repeat the question again?
What's your priorities?
What's
Value.
one of the most important values that you? What is one of the most important things that you value in your life?
Yeah.
At the moment. It does not have to be answered by everyone.
Oh, I can answer. I can answer.
Richard.
So like, I like what you said and what you said. So it's like, so I like to start off with like the future, and then like that involves like my family and friends first, obviously, right? So like as I grow, I want to always like involve like my family and friends inside, like so that because I know that that's what makes my future, right? Because through them, I learn through them, I work through them, and everything, right? So yeah, so I'm with you both together, combined, you know.
Mm-hmm. Aaron?
I want to say it's funny how you guys say the future because I want to say like the now.
I was
now,
gonna say that.
because one thing that's I value in my life right now is like love, and like I think like love beats all. You know, like at the end of the day, like if you, it just beats everything. It beats everything, and if I can learn how to value love like above everything, I just want to be seen as like a good soul. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like kind of like. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No,
but,
I get it.
But
It
like,
makes sense.
but
Speaking from the heart, bro.
kind of just like be in the now.
Yeah.
Because you truly never know when's like the last time you see somebody or the last time you speak with somebody, you know. And everyone's just so busy in their lives, right? Like you really truly never know.
Very true.
So if you can just like have love in your heart, love whenever you speak, whenever you look at somebody, and just spread that, you know. And love is contagious as well.
Very true, man.
Oh man, you guys are
Wow.
That's a great answer.
That's an
Clip that!
That's an excellent
Drop the mic,
answer.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, close. I was like, that's it.
That's it.
How about you guys though?
I don't know. I said mine.
Yeah.
Mine's a little bit on the selfish side, but it also has to play off of yours as well, or your second
Sound
one.
good. Sound good.
So I value like, or one of the things I would like to, or I do value most is like my kind of freedom. Being able to have time to do the things that I enjoy doing, whether that's being with my family, taking naps, creating, like just having time to myself and just thinking back and being able to reflect on my day, like being able to have the option of like what I want to do after work, like that that really like, resonates with me. So yeah.
Freedom.
Freedom. Giving yourself some room.
I think that's where I was trying to get though. Sorry. For the lack of a better word, I didn't think of it, but yeah, freedom. I like that a lot. To be able to like plan what you want to do, and you're able to do it after work, and you have the ability to like make your plans and like actually do them, right? So, Ceston, Joan.
I think for mine, I'd say like time, like kind of what you said. Time is like something like as we get older, you know, we have like less and less of it. And I honestly, again, like what Aaron said, I have no idea where I'm going with this, bro. But like,
In the heart.
Get deep.
yeah, no, like we're getting older. We're like seeing our friends less. We're like we're limiting ourselves to doing like the things we really have to do rather than the things that we want to do.
Wow.
So like, I just feel like just like us being here, like the time we spend together, like I value that. Like seeing you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna cry, bro.
Me too, bro.
Time, yeah, nice time.
Mr. Prada Man, anything most important thing? One of the most important things that you value in yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing as Aaron, like now, but not as deep as Aaron's in terms of like just love and appreciate the people you're with and the people you're around. But I would kind of tie it in what Eric and Richard said, how it would relate to the future largely. Because as much as you want to say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be this in the future, 5 years from now, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. Nothing will ever happen if you don't start now.
Yeah.
You know, like as important as it is to dream, it's important to work on it too.
Yeah.
I feel like for myself too, I'm hugely guilty of that. Like it's so hard to just do it now, right?
Yeah.
And we're so lucky to be in this position to like have clothes, have glasses, right?
Yeah.
But like it's so easy to just say, oh, I'm gonna sleep in today.
Yeah.
You
Do it
know?
later. Do it later.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
And then
tomorrow.
tomorrow comes.
And it's
"Ah,
tomorrow.
I'll do it the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you dream so hard, but it's even harder to do it.
To work.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so just it's so important to just think about that.
Such a deep segment. I love
That's a
it
good
so
one.
much,
Values,
but
yeah.
you guys are really plucking at my strings right now. Not even kidding. But we're moving on to the next segment. Great G-Town Tales segment. We are moving on to Off the Dome segment, what's your initial thoughts on a quote or of a word? It'd be funny, it'd be something like that. But the first one I want to start off with is music artiste. Off the Dome. Who do you think of, Eric?
Music artiste.
Artiste.
Like whatever comes into the head.
Yeah,
kinda
off the
thing?
dome. I say music artist. Who do you think of?
Music artiste. Oh my goodness, this is too much for me right now.
Off the
Who's
dome.
the first one that comes in your head?
Well,
Like
the
an
first
Yeah,
artist.
one
just
that-
say the first one that just
Off
came
the
to
dome,
your
it's
head.
off the dome.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mine was Share of the Weekend,
I already
bro.
got the first one. Okay.
guys, someone
Yeah.
got to cover for me, man, because I'm
Alright.
still thinking.
Right when you
I'm
said
like
that, I thought
freezing.
about
Too
The
many
Weeknd.
artists are coming
Okay,
into my head.
Richard.
The Weekend, but I don't know why. I just like his
Because we
music.
said it earlier.
Yeah.
Is it?
Someone said The Weeknd.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
great.
I remember that.
Maybe that's why.
Joan?
For mine, first one that came to my mind was Calvin Harris, yo.
Calvin Harris?
Yeah, no, because I was thinking of that video he made of how he made Slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you hear
I haven't
like
seen
you
that.
hear like
Yeah.
Frank's,
Oh,
you hear like
no.
Frank's raw vocals, you hear like all the line,
Yeah.
bass lines, everything, and just like how he composed the whole thing is so dope. He did it all by himself, like all the everything.
Yeah.
I love that. You need to see that. It's like
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like
I know
raw.
the song. It's like I would need to see the video.
So
yeah.
dope.
you hear like Frank Ocean's vocals raw,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no beat over it or nothing.
Then
And
how
the
he like
instruments that he
layers
uses
it.
too are so sick. Like he uses like keyboards from like the 80s, just for
Wow.
like that sound.
Right.
You know, and you like
Wow.
barely hear it, but when you pay attention to it, it's there.
Mhm.
You know? Like all those layers, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You're a very musical person. I always forget that he plays a lot of instruments. So
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Like what?
I play the drums, piano, guitar.
The recorder.
Yeah.
the
You
recorder.
record? Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to start to, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe
Shit.
Aaron and I will do it.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Yeah.
isn't that
Harmonica.
both your guys' like goals or something? Did you say that earlier?
Start
in the
now.
Works, in the works. In the works coming. For sure.
Okay. I don't know, because I was listening to a bunch of them this morning. I was listening to like Boyz II Men and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. I was just having a, throwback kind of, I don't know, phase, I guess. I was listening to a lot of like 80s soul, so like it would be like Marvin Gaye,
Mm.
it would be Boyz II Men, Genuine, them,
Mhm.
as well as like
Yeah.
the golden era guys like Biggie Smalls, 50
Mhm.
Cent, Jay-Z, those type of guys. Yeah. I don't know. I
Bunch
grew
of
Off the dome.
Yeah, it's off the dome, right?
It's
I
off
mean,
the
like,
dome.
The
It's
only
off the
reason
dome.
why is because like I grew up with that. I grew up with like so many older cousins. I was like
Yeah.
the youngest one at the time back in
Mhm.
like 2000, and then I was surrounded by that type of environment. So
Yeah.
like my eldest brother was like into 50 Cent, so I started listening to 50 Cent. my brother was listening to Lil Boozy, so I listened to Lil Boozy. I didn't even know like.
Boozy badass.
I didn't know what was in that time, and my middle brother, he was listening to rock music, and then I was like exposed to like the Bloodhound Gang, and then yeah, it's weird, like Breaking Benjamin and everything like that. Yeah.
Played rock band once.
Yeah.
Or Guitar Hero.
Aaron, off the dome.
When he said music artist, I didn't even think of any artists. I thought of like
It's a crazy spectrum.
R&B. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when he's
R&B?
like-
Yeah, genre,
it's like,
anything, off the dome.
R&B.
SJP.
Yeah. Just what? Say it louder. R&B. Yeah, that's my favorite genre.
Mm.
So like, off
R&B.
the dome, man.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
R&B.
dope.
R&B.
That's dope. That's actually pretty dope.
2000s era, man.
Don't really have to
Yeah.
expand on it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to expand. I just talk
Yeah,
for hours.
Chris Reeves.
I
Yeah.
really-
Who do you
can talk
think?
around.
Who do you think carried or paved the way for R&B?
Oh, I mean, like
Oh.
Usher, like
Yeah.
like Justin
Oh, yeah.
Timberlake.
Usher
I would
was
say
the
Chris
first
Brown.
person.
Brown,
Yeah.
I would say Chris Brown.
Insane.
Brown?
bro.
I would
Chris
say
Brown.
Chris
Chris
Brown. Usher?
Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Soulja
yo.
Boy? What's Soulja Boy? Soulja Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier.
Yeah,
Usher.
Off the dome, my first thought was Kanye.
Kanye.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That guy just has so many talents, and it's just his ability to collaborate with so many artists. Like, he just knows how to find an artist who's good at what they do, get the best out of them, and put it into his own genre of music.
Mhm.
It's just kind of, it's like next level. So Kanye.
Man, you guys see those recent videos of Kanye though, like the Sunday church
The
thing?
Sunday-
Yeah,
yeah.
where he's just on the keyboard and everyone's just rocking around.
Yeah.
That shit is sick, man.
Yeah.
But off the dome for me, when I think about music artists, as of recent, I don't know if you guys know them. They're like a Japanese band. They're called Sunset Roller Coaster. I highly recommend you guys listen to them. They
It's like chill vibes, right?
it's yeah, it's like
I think he showed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like indie music. Shout out to Josh Aries actually. He actually
Yeah.
showed us this song.
Yeah.
Like it's called My Jinji, right? And it's such a dope song. It's just like so
What
chill.
are they called?
Sunset Roller Coaster. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're great. I don't know. Lately I just don't fuck with like lyrics lately. I don't know. I just like
More
listening to
beats?
like beats and
Mm.
and whatnot. Like they're in their music. It's all like instrumental, most of it. And like sometimes they do have vocals, but it's like very faint.
Right.
So it's like in the background, and I just vibe with that a lot. But another one is just because like as of recent Earth, Wind and Fire.
September?
Yeah,
Wait,
September.
wait.
September's the shit.
It always like makes me so happy for some reason.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Whenever I think of Earth, Wind and Fire, I think of September. September throws me back to like my old childhood days. I'm thinking about like our old family parties,
Yeah.
type of vibes, and like, I come from a big family. Cassandra is my family, so we come from that, and we used to have like all these parties and boogie downs and whatnot, and everyone would be dancing, doing like the line dances, all that. Man, September comes on, we're rocking. That's it.
Yeah.
It's boogie shit.
Fire.
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Yeah,
Fire.
yeah.
It's pretty fire.
And then recently, Robert Downey Jr. from Avengers, Marvel Universe, you know, he posted an Instagram video, right, of like
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the countdown
Yes.
to Endgame, right?
That was
And
so
then-
good.
Yeah, it's so vibe. It's like, yeah, that's my mood. That's my mood today.
Yeah.
But Robert Downey Jr. is like rocking to Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind, Fire,
It's
and
so
like,
good.
and he's discoing, right? And
You
like,
can't,
yo,
you can't help but smile when you watch that video.
Yeah.
It's so
Such a
funny.
good soul, man.
so vibes.
Yeah.
Another fact, we're actually watching Endgame again after the podcast.
What time
So.
does it start?
10-10. Shit.
Yeah.
10-10. Yeah. Music artists.
Not necessarily artists, but I feel like the art of jamming in general.
Mm.
Cause that to me, that is when you. It's like when you guys are creating art, right? Like you're taking photos. I say that for myself too. Like taking photos, and when you're on your pen or your mouse or whatever, when you're looking through the viewfinder, the flow of it. Like when you start to feel the flow of it and you're being carried away with it,
Yeah.
that's when you know your art is really good. Because if you're trying, if you're thinking about it, it's not working.
Yeah.
But
So
the cool
just
thing
jam.
about jamming though is that you can have other people come in.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rhythm that you follow,
Yeah.
and people will follow it too, and then it creates a different vibe,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, now we're collaborating.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
yeah, that's pretty sick.
Like it's cool to be able to do it on your own, but when everyone you don't even have to talk, right? You
Yeah.
just look at each other, you cue each other, like
Yeah.
you nod, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And everyone just understands
Tell them
it.
the key and that's it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just the art of jamming.
We'll do it, man. Don't worry.
So
We'll do it soon, bro.
it's so sweet because I'm so close to like so many musical people. I'm talking about these guys right here. I'm talking about Eric, Ceston, and Jerwin. These guys go off on the drums. They fucking go off. Shit. We're like, we're. I remember this one time we're like in Ceston's room
Jerwin's house.
and Jerwin's house.
And Jerwin's house.
I don't know, at both these guys' houses. Anyways, we turn on like Bruno Mars or something, Locked
Yeah.
Out of Heaven, and these guys are on the drums. They go off, man, and we're just hyping each other up. I'm not doing anything.
Shoot a podcast of that. Record it. Have a recording session.
That'd
That'd be dope.
sick.
If we had a room,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay,
All right, man.
There we go.
And then like we have an uncle. His name is Tito Zorro. And he has some music band. It's called Z Sound.
Z
Yo, we never hire DJ for our parties. It's always this guy, man. This guy.
He's singing, he's DJing, he's on the keys.
There you
all
go.
of it.
All of it, man.
One man team, right?
There you go.
There we go.
No, but we have the other uncles join in too.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
they do.
The daddy, like he'll have his drums,
Oh yeah.
and then
You know, I forgot they had that drum set.
who else? Tito Tata has his
Oh, is keyboard?
Guitar.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Pizarro also plays guitar too.
Mm.
So.
So
everything.
rounded.
Yeah, there's actually
The
that.
key
Well, you know
guitar.
why, right?
Guitar.
Pardon?
You know why, right?
Why they jam a lot? Or
Yeah.
just.
Because our grandpa was a music teacher. Did you not know this?
Sick.
Whoa, family
You
lesson
don't know
of the day.
The
Family
dad
lesson.
getting
I did not know
lessons.
that. No, I don't know much about our grandfather.
Yeah,
It's just
same.
because
Well, we remember
nothing was said. Just because my dad, he was a baby.
He was so yeah.
Yeah,
was a
he
baby.
never met
Passed.
his dad. So.
But you just ask stories. Ask
Yeah.
all the stories. She got all the stories.
I know, that's right. Sorry, I don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, not to mention too that Cassandra's brother Ryan, DJ
Your brother's
Dexter,
a
he's a DJ.
Hey.
Dexter.
Does he still
He still
do
DJs.
shows, but the club right next to?
That actually closed down. Licorice closed down.
Damn.
Yeah, as of January. So
Ah.
he's not there anymore, but he still does like weddings and events and stuff like that.
Nice.
And my sister sings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, amazing
So
singer.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
there's a lot of music in our family,
Mhm.
and I used to dance.
Nice.
Actually, a lot of our cousins used to dance.
You used to dance.
This guy
Yeah.
dances.
Exactly.
This guy
This guy
goes-
dances.
Your
Still
brother
dancing,
sings.
bro.
Still
This
Yeah.
guy's still dancing, bro.
Your brother sings, but he doesn't want to like sing in front of the family. Like you're all.
That makes me so mad.
Just sing in front of us.
Matt, if you're watching this, I'm
Yeah.
so mad. This guy loves
know.
it, man. He performs it at like all these other events and all
Yeah.
this
That's good.
I
stuff.
try to call him out. I'm like, just sing in front of us. What are you so worried about? We're
Whenever I
family."
ask him, and he's like, "No, man, no."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that.
No, man. And I'm like, "Hey, can you sing at this event?" And he's like, "No, man." Good, man. I got a few links and I would just want to show you guys. It's like these funny little gags and whatnot. Ceston has the links opened up. The first one, the Reddit one. Actually, no, the Imager one. Imager one first, please. This is freaking dope.
I can't place it
Uh,
in the middle, but
Uh-oh.
But look at this though.
What? Wait, hold
The
on.
birds.
It's a bird. It looked like the frozen in time, right?
Yeah.
Is it just really slowed down or something?
Yeah, it's a slow-mo video.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it looks
that's dope.
Yeah.
It's like an art
Oh,
installation.
geez.
Yeah.
It's like real.
Yo, this
Is
is like.
this train going by like really fast or
Looks
something?
I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it looks-
like they're not really flapping their wings; they're just gliding.
Sasha, can you
Yeah.
replicate this?
If I had a A7 III, probably.
Yeah, see, I need to still learn like, how to use it for
This is
video.
I
kind
don't
of-
know,
Yeah,
it's,
like,
it's a dope
yeah.
camera. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
And our second link, I ripped it off Reddit.
Can I close this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know
but
the-
this,
guy, right?
This cute, kawaii old man
Hold on.
got the sickest custom camera here.
It's actually a Sony.
Yeah.
Is that almost like industry standard now? Sony
No.
is like
An
No,
actual
like
shooter.
it's
really, eh?
Wow.
But it's a camera
There you go. There you go.
strapped onto a
Oh,
gun.
he's straight
What?
shooting.
He's actually shooting.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
He's a straight
So
shooter.
funny.
And it's called Leon the Professional.
Yeah.
He's actually shooting.
That's actually pretty good.
I love
That's
it.
hilarious.
I love how he walks
It
up
actually,
to it.
Is he gonna? Is there actually a gun attached to it, or just a handle?
It's like a handle.
It's just the what do you call that? The
Is he-
stock.
Secret
Yeah.
Service.
It's
stuff
just
like
the
that.
stock.
It almost looks like.
That'd be
he's
sauce,
like,
bro.
with his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
No, what I love about it is he's just looking at it, admiring it, getting closer, looks up again, takes a few more steps, looks up,
And that's it.
and then he takes a
That's
photo of
Molly,
it.
bro.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah. Sasha, cop that, man.
I know, right?
I'm getting you for that.
Bro,
I'm getting you that for Christmas.
Is the trigger
The
like
Sony?
act as like the?
The stock.
I'm just getting you the
Dude, that'd be
handle.
sick if the trigger was the.
Yeah.
Is it the?
It is.
so,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
sure it is.
So,
There's
yeah.
cables. There's you see the
Sure.
cables on
Sick,
there.
Sure.
dude.
That's crazy.
He went this far, bro. He went this far.
Wait, he walks, he looks down again. Does he?
Like, I
Oh,
got him.
that's- I thought he did.
That's
This is
interesting.
so funny.
This is so funny.
Yeah.
Celebrities hate this guy.
Internet can be such a great place, also a bad place at the same
He's
time.
like a paparazzi.
Yeah,
He's
paparazzi.
just like,
It's like, dude, that'd be so sus.
Oh man, can you imagine you pull up with that?
Yeah.
Like, the red carpet. Oh, get down!
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
down!
yeah.
Oh man.
Like a
Gets
presidential
on the
debate,
trip.
bro.
Go there.
Yeah, exactly.
You would be allowed.
That's true. Let's scroll through Cassandra's website really quickly. We're getting into like our final segments here and our final question.
I need to update my website.
Oh, is this?
So it's like it's kind of updated, but not like completely right
Mhm.
now. Yeah.
Sweet.
So you want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, I did a creative recently, and I wanted to kind of make it very, very spring and very free. And so, I don't know. I tend to know how I want the image to look, but I don't always have the story first. Kind of the story comes in later. You always make the content, and then you build the story after that. So this one here, I ended up kind of playing this story on like envy and hope. So you see this girl with the green lips, and she's kind of like the envious person in your mind. You know, like let's just put like social media on this platform. You know, you're on social media and you could be scrolling and be like, you know, you have this envious thought of like, I want that, or like, man, like I wish that was me, or you know, you want things, and you're envious of these people that have these things because they're only showing the good stuff, right? And then to kind of counteract and battle that, like you also have this thought of hope. And so you see that kind of the girl with the blue lips kind of come in, and so that's just like your secondary thought, and it's counteracting it in a way where it's like, instead of being envious of something, it's like, why don't you make it a good thought instead of negative, and be like, you know what, instead of saying like, that's what I want, or I'm jealous of that girl, you could be like, that's something that I can accomplish. You know, you make it into a goal. Like that's something I want, but in a more optimistic way of thinking about it. And so you have that secondary thought kind of coming in, and then if you click on the right side,
The arrow?
yeah, you go into these thoughts kind of interacting with each other. And so you have envious is kind of still there. It's like, you know what, like I still have this thought, but hope is kind of shining through, and it's like, you know what, don't worry about it, like it's cool, like, you know, make your thoughts positive, and then you kind of see them face to face with each other. If you go to the next photo, then hope kind of wins, and envious is like put to sleep.
It's like
Wow.
Indian.
Yeah.
You're personifying both hope and envy
Yeah.
in a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not what I had going into it. There were so many different ways that I could have interpreted these photos, but with what I had and what I kind of saw and what I find myself dealing with, so like art being very personal at the time, like you were saying, it's like that's kind of what was going through my mind, and it's like, okay, like I shouldn't be on like social media focusing on like what I am jealous of or envious of. It should be things that I'm like, I'm inspired by this, so like I want to achieve that. So that's kind of how the pieces kind of showed up in that narrative.
Lovely.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's
I like how they're
great.
posed. I really like how
That's
they're posed.
awesome.
That's great the way she interpreted that.
Yeah.
It's like it's
So it's cool because like just like building creatives is really awesome because you get to work with different people. We had a makeup artist, a hairstylist, and then the two models, and yeah, it was just like kind of fun, kind of spring creative that we went to shoot.
Nice.
I want to ask, I kind of know a little bit about color theory. By a little bit, I mean like 2%. Is there a reason you chose green? Because green is actually the color of envy.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't choose green. I actually, so this is the
2%.
collaboration part. So
2%.
I worked on this project with a makeup artist named Neil, and she actually chose what makeup she wanted to do. So it was her palette. She wanted to choose these colors, and
Great
then
colors.
yeah, they're really nice.
Really
The blue
good.
and the green, like really nice earthy tones, a little bit of post-processing and editing the photos, but it was all her selection of how the makeup showed up on the face. And then I just kind of tweaked it a bit to clean it up and look the way that it is now. Yeah.
So this ties together. This is actually the final question that I have to ask you. We ask this to every guest.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any advice or quote that you want to tell and give to our audience?
Yes, there is.
What is that?
I kind of have two.
Prepared.
I kind of have two.
Two?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, certainly.
So, one of the first ones is not really a quote, it's just something that I've kind of learned along the way, is listen to your energy. If you know that something's not right for you, and you feel that it's not right for you, and if you feel like a certain relationship is either bringing you down or is unhealthy, find ways in love to help balance that out. Like, there's something wrong there, and whether if you can change it or not, you have to be able to know how to either remove yourself from the situation or think about ways to make it better. Like, if you want that relationship to last, if it's worth lasting, keep that relationship in your life. That could be with like friends, like people you work with, like people that you meet on the street, somebody who's sitting beside you on the bus, like anything like that. Or just like choices in your life, like big choices. Like mine was like my career. Like I spent all this money on school for graphic design, but I'm like, I knew in my heart this wasn't for me, and I just had to follow my energy and be like, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, and and it works out. In the end, it works out. But listen to that, because if you're not listening to that energy, you're trying to fight something that's beyond you. Like you already know deep inside what's good and what's not good for you. But if you're trying to counteract that, then you're just having a battle with yourself, and that's like an unhealthy relationship with yourself. And if you have that, you're going to spread that out to everybody around you. Sometimes you'll burst out in anger because of something that you're battling with inside, and it has nothing to do with that person, but that person's going to take the pain that you're living with and you're creating for yourself. So, one, listen to your energy. And then the other one is actually a quote from this book called 99U. And
who's the author?
So 99U has a bunch of authors.
Oh.
And they actually have a website, but the whole idea is actually based on 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. So it's like you may have an idea, but nothing's going to happen unless you do the work. So that's where the 99U comes from. But this quote is in one of their books. And it's, decide that you want it more than you're afraid of it. So in that sense, or at least in my case, it was the same thing, work again. It's like, I actually wanted this more than I was scared of it. I was scared that I was going to lose a good paying job. I was scared that I was going to lose my security. I was scared that I was going to, just like fail really hard at something that I had no idea about yet. But I wanted it more than I was scared of it. So, I mean, that could be applied in your guys' lives too, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's like amazing quotes, advice, lovely. This is so good. Oh, dang.
Hit you in the feels?
Yeah.
A little bit
I
too
like
much.
that 99.
A little bit too much.
She just shut out of me.
And I'm back.
That's what Raven told me.
The thing is, I really resonate with that quote. It's just because when we first started doing this podcast, this was dormant in a year for me. It was all just some concept, basically. I was just like, I was watching a lot of podcasts and whatnot, and like I hang around with my bros and all that, and it's like when we're talking, this shit sounds so good, man. We gotta put this on somewhere,
put it out
right?
There, yeah.
And like it was just such a thing, and then and I pitched it to Ceston, and we got working. We got it going. Eric cooked up the logo. We got the cast going. We got the guests going, and we had the show going. We're live every episode, and that's really started off. You really have to put your foot forward,
Yeah.
right? You got to put your foot down and like get to work. Let's do it,
Yeah.
you know?
Commit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some great advice. Thank you so much for that. Love it. Well, that's it for episode 14 of the G-Town podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Honestly, it's like really dope that you guys are doing this. Like, no matter how many followers you're at right now, like what you guys have started is like a good foundation for what's to come later for you guys. I mean, like, you're so young in your careers, and you guys are all kind of like learning along the way, but it's nice that all of you guys kind of have different backgrounds and things and work together collaboratively to pursue this voice. You guys have a voice, whether you know it or not, and it's nice because there are other people that have voices too but don't get heard, and so you guys are bringing that into the community, and it's really nice that you guys are doing it.
Thank you. Like always, we appreciate every eye and ear on the podcast, guys. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. The notification bell is always there. We are also on Spotify, so please hit us up on there too. Drop by, give us a listen. And thank you for tuning in today's episode.
Thanks,
That's
Maxwell
it.
Lee.
Hey, thanks, Max. Thanks for tuning in. All right, peace. Hey. Bye.
So good, guys.
Hey.
Perfect.